I'm CK. Haven't disassembled anything in a while, so I decided to grab this guitar tuner, an electronic guitar tuner. It's from Jowoom. It's a good tuner, but I switched over to Roadie tuners about 2 years ago, so I haven't used this much. It doesn't really fit my Epiphone pegs anyway, but the battery's still charged. So if you don't know what these do, I'll show you. We've got my garage workshop Squire mini Strat, which is always out of tune. And what will be happening here, if I can get this held upright, is I will pluck the string. There we go. Now it's hearing it. Now you can see it. It's moving back and forth to try and get it tuned. Hopefully you can see that. I'll move in like that. And it's jerking back and forth to try and get it tuned. And it's not making it, which is not unusual. This little Squire is really hard to keep in tune, which is why I keep it out in the workshop. But you get the idea. It manipulates the tuning pegs to get and when it senses it low or high, it spins this. So we've got a couple of things that I want to look at this, and the reason why I wanted to take this apart. I'm pretty sure that this works on vibration and not acoustic. In other words, it's got a sensor measuring vibration, not a microphone measuring acoustic pitch, because that wouldn't work very well in a stage environment or whatever. So we'll determine that. And I want to see what kind of gearing is in here and what kind of motor is in here, and of course what kind of battery, because this has been charged for about 2 years and looks like it's still going to be fine. And theoretically, I'll try and take it apart so I can put it back together when I'm done. I'm not going to bank on that, but as I said, I'm using Roadies now, so I'm not going to disassemble one of those. So let's get it on the workbench and see what it looks like inside. I'm going to be disassembling this on my solder pad, not because I care about the solder pad, but because it makes sure I stay inside the frame of the camera. So I'm going to turn it back off, and it's off, and as you can see, we've got LED, a display, a number of buttons. There's a reset button right there, battery charge indicator there, the tuning peg holder. Then on the back it's got 2 screws here, automatic tuning winder with typical regulatory stickers, which are probably lies and made in China. I'm going to see first, before I do anything, I'm going to see if there's a, yeah, you can see it's dimpling a little bit there when I push on it, so there's a screw under there too. So let's get these 2 screws out first. And it sure feels like they're going directly into plastic, so there's no metal sleeving inside. Some long screws, and as you can see, they're self-tapping, so it's definitely going into plastic. Now I'm going to poke through down here to get this one out. Oh, it won't poke. It won't poke. This plastic is too thick to simply poke through. I'll just pull it all the way off. Yeah, that's a good thick piece of plastic, huh? Surprising. Usually they're simple decals that you can get through pretty quickly. We're going to have a brief camera skip here because this top camera is running out of battery, so I got to swap the battery. Okay, that was quick. Now we'll get the other last screw out. And now all the screws are out. I don't think the tuning head needs to come off. Actually, it might need to come. Oh no, it's going to separate. Looks like it's got a separation line there. So let's see what we can do here. Seems to be coming apart rather easily. Get a little screwdriver to give it a little more encouragement. Oh, there's a little screw in here too. I think that holds this the twist head on. So I don't think I really need to take that off to get this apart, but it is, something is resisting coming apart. And I don't know whether it's a little glue or sonic welding that I'm not aware of. Okay, something went click. It's always good when something goes click. The battery looks like it's attached to the top part. Probably glued on. I think there's some tight press fit along here that is what's giving me fits, so to speak. I'm going to go ahead and pull this head off, just in case it is causing me any problems. I don't think it is. So I pulled that off. Of course, it made everything go further in. Oh, I see. I think I see. So there are two screws holding the motor pressed firmly up against the end here. So I'm sure I got to take those off because that's it's going through the case. That should allow it to come open. Yes, it does feel that way. So we're going to take it open this way because we've got two sections. We've got a big lithium battery here, all potted down. And the, oh, look at that. Interesting. And this is the power connection that goes to the battery, and the charging port goes right to that. I'm going to disconnect. I don't know which end I want to disconnect this on. I don't know which of these connectors is going to come out most easily. This one did. Okay. So here we've got the business end. We've got a little DC motor with M2, GABV, M1. I'm not sure what that all means, but it matches the colors. Actually, it doesn't match the colors, but that's okay. It doesn't match the colors in English. So it's a Vertec motor, and then this is going to be this. Oh, it's got a little sticky pad right there. And this is the reduction drive, so the motor will spin it. Oh, it's even counterweighted, so it spins very well. You know, that's interesting. It looks almost like that's not a reduction gear. Oh, no, it is. So I'm turning the shaft of the motor, and hopefully you can see on this little flat spot. Actually, why don't I put a little piece of black mark on there so you can see it better. As I spin that, the back, that shaft moves through this gearbox. So that's the motor. Here's the battery. It's all potted in, even though I think this is a standard 3.7 volt big old lithium. Then here is the actual module, and if you look at this, oh, that's the buzzer. That's what it is. When you hit the actual frequency you're looking for, it'll beep at you, and that's that buzzer there. And I'm thinking, so let me pull this circuit board out. Where did I put? Yeah, this actually should go back together pretty easily. So this was not destructive. But I still actually don't know where it's picking up the vibrations. tell it what frequency the string is currently vibrating at. Should all come out as a unit. Yes, it does. Oh, is that what's doing it? Okay, so here we have the front panels, and I'm going to go ahead and plug the battery pack back in. So if we press here, that's the power, and I may not have the battery plugged all the way in. Oh, I don't have the battery plugged in at all, because I'm being silly. There we go. So there's that. I'm going to turn off this light for a minute. Oh, and there goes my water heater. I'm going to take a little break, folks. Water heater's back off, so we can get back to what we were doing. And I just edited another video while I was waiting for the water heater to go, so I got to remember what the heck I was doing right here. Let's see. So we were turning it back on. Trying not to electrocute ourselves, so there's that. Now the question is, because we've got two potentials, I mean right here, these are little button inserts that press on these buttons. I'm not going to. So we've got two piezo's here, and here, and I'm not sure what they're for. That must be what's picking up the vibration. Dropping in here because I realized after I had wrapped up the video that I had said piezo and maybe even piezoelectric a couple of times to talk about how this tuner may be sensing what the tuning on the string is, and I didn't explain that, and you may not be familiar, but it's a very interesting concept and one that's in a lot of devices you have. Piezoelectricity is the characteristic of some materials. I'll use quartz as an example, that if you have a quartz crystal and you compress it, stretch it, or whatever, it creates an electrical potential, a little bit of voltage, a little bit of current. Conversely, if you apply a rapid current or voltage to it, it will vibrate. So what's happening in this thing, on those little discs that are there are two pieces of metal, and in between them is a piezoelectric material, very likely quartz-based because it's so common and so cheap. And as this vibrates, because the string is vibrating, those little plates vibrate, and they produce an electrical potential, either voltage or current, depending on what this is measuring, at a very specific rate based on the vibration of the string. So that vibrating quartz and that little bit of current, the microcontroller in here counts that and says, is that 440 for an A? Oh, I'm sensing that it's vibrating at 410 oscillations per second, so I need to tighten the string a little bit. Okay, there's 440. So that's the piezo I'm talking about. That's the way this operates to sense whether the string is tuned or not. And by the way, I did put it back together, and it's working. So that's good too. Back to the end of the video. Because, again, this is the beep telling you when it's done. But these two piezo's must be generating a little bit. Oh, they're in series. Interesting. I'm going to see if I can get this to react. I'm going to play. I'm trying to get. Yeah, Face ID doesn't work with my visor on. So let's see, let me get some, I don't have a tone generator on here. Actually, I'm going to stop that, and I'm going to go grab that little Strat. I mean, I shouldn't even call it a Strat, that little Squire. I'm going to put the body of it right there. Oh yeah, okay. So it's exactly these piezo discs, because I don't know if you can see this. Let me do it again. You can hear and see the shaft moving. Can you? Yeah, you can. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. I'm going to detune that again. You can see it moving. So it is these piezo discs that are picking up the frequency, not a microphone. So that's good to know. And as you saw, see, because if we're up above it, it doesn't do anything. But if we're touching the body or the neck, you can, again, let me try and get this organized a little bit better so you can see it a little bit better. This battery that's causing me fits. That's all in the frame now. So that's the way it works. And again, I do believe I can get this back together so it works again. Now don't be nutty. So that's what's inside an electric guitar tuner. Pretty interesting. And I hope you enjoyed the video.